Okay, let's have a look at quality control then. Starting with this, fees really ought to be called something, I think, more like leadership. Because what we're really talking about here is how culture is more important than fees. Quality is more important than fees. The culture is focused on quality. So it's all about the leadership. It's all about the culture. Now, the leaders have to therefore make sure that everybody understands that quality is super important. And you do that through training. You do it through having a mission statement, so maybe mentioning quality within the mission statement. I think EY or something is quality in everything we do. Quality being more important than profits, being more important than fees. So if somebody asks you to keep the fees down, you say, I can't because I've got to do this quality work, and quality work needs paying for. So the pay reflects the quality. On to human resources then. Make sure that everybody's individually has quality, so regular appraisals. Make sure you hire the right people, competent staff. How do we plan then? So quality control has got to be involved in the planning stage. So discuss known risk. Known risk meaning risks where we think there may be a material misstatement. So we're trying to make sure we have a quality audit, that we focus on the right things. So we need to discuss the risks. We need to get to know the client in order to know where the possible risks are, where the possible risks of material misstatement are. We need to think, right, where will we need consultation? Will it be on, do we have a particularly difficult area where we maybe not have all the expertise, so we need an expert to come in? We need to make sure that as we go along, reviews of everybody's work by somebody more senior is timetabled into that and feed accordingly. Okay, so there's plenty of time, etc., to do everything. All of these things need planning to make sure that we have a quality audit. One thing is, of course, if you don't have a quality audit, what happens is audit risk is made up of, isn't it? Audit risk is made up of the inherent risk of a client, the control risks of the client, and the detection risk, and that's the risk that we won't detect something. So if you don't have good quality control, our detection risk will be very high, and we want our detection risk to be low. It's the only one under our control. So to make detection risk low, we must have good quality control. So, linked to that then, we need to supervise everybody to make sure that we have good quality control, to make sure that they can detect things. So supervise the staff in how they're making their judgments, in what they're working on. If they do have a problem, they know where to come to immediately. So this whole idea of reviews becomes really important. Okay, and when you review, we say, right, did we get all the evidence? What lessons can we learn going forward? And we appraise the staff immediately so they can learn, so they can then review others in the future. Monitoring. So monitoring the outside environment. So are there new ISAs? Are there new developments in ethics, in quality control that people... So we need to keep an eye. It's not like it's a one-off thing, quality control. Keeping your CPD, your continuing professional development in education, keeping that up to date on a personal basis. Ethics, obviously, we need to plan for that. It's a separate section, isn't it? So we should be okay with that. So get to know the ethical threats and the safeguards. Make sure people are aware of whether they're under an ethical threat or not by training. And if for example, you suddenly get given shares in a company that you're auditing, well, that will be a breach of ethics. So you need to notify immediately. And then finally, PLCs, they need an engagement quality control reviewer. Okay, so an engagement quality control reviewer, they will review any significant matters. They will look for any sufficient evidence. Has that been gained over the significant matters? This will be done throughout the audit, but also as well at the end. And how much depends on the competency of the people who are doing the audit in the first place. But everybody, there will always be an engagement quality control review at the end and throughout when you're auditing a PLC.